as well. Connection's good.
Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. There we go. We're here. We're live. Welcome. Finally. I blame Josh.
I accept.
Good. Accepted.
Yeah. Make sure your audio's good. All right, we're gonna go.
I think live is good. Everyone can hear just fine. Yes. Nod if
And
you can hear.
I should be live as well.
He should be.
Finally.
But
Finally. The technical difficulties causing a small delay, but
just a minor delay. But we're here now. Our apologies, of course. But yeah, now we're doing the internet thing. Welcome.
I burnt up all of my preparedness time.
Yeah,
last minute.
I forgot all the things we were going to talk about. So
yeah, but nonetheless, we get checked in. Hopefully, audio's good. That's my biggest concern. I'm gonna close this.
Josh's vocals are messed up, so I'm going to try to fix that. I don't know why they would be. There's literally only two sources coming in, so. Apparently you're echoing, Josh, but I can't help you with that.
I will turn your audio down, and hopefully that's the best we can get.
Yep.
I get great sound on this side, they said.
Yep.
So.
Well, that's always the case, I guess.
Yeah. That's the both sound great. How many times? That's my big. I didn't even turn the lights on in here.
Oh, it's because I'm not wearing my headphones. That's what it is.
Fix your stuff.
I know. I'm getting it. Hang on.
We need to get back to DJ SBG. Man. Getting into some of the questions right away. Jeremiah's asking, what's my new flip truck? And I have my new flip truck. It's actually right below us here.
There we go. Everything's fixed.
So that the new flip truck is going to be one of my priorities to get started. I think I'm going to film and upload that this weekend.
So but I should be better now. There should be no echo.
You should always be better.
Well, yes.
So yeah, we almost did a little bit of preparedness for this one.
Well, a little bit, yeah.
We talked about being prepared.
We did, but I don't think we actually finished talking about it. So
we said we should be prepared and come up with some topics. And we both said that's a great idea.
And typically I think that would be something we'd actually do. But for some reason, Josh, I think you're working a little bit harder than I am these days.
Yeah, so I am still working. Are you working from home technically? Is that the situation?
Technically, yes. I'd like to be doing more work, but advertising kind of slows down all of a sudden in this sort of situation, which is totally new to me. But I presume, and I've spoken to a bunch of my advertising people, that they are planning things and getting things ready for the moment that everything goes back to normal-ish. So, yeah.
Well,
gives me lots of time to be in the workshop, so that's nice.
Yeah. That I could take that part. Yeah. Right now, for us, I've got people who are out of the office.
Yes.
So, which means myself and Brandon, we're having to take on some extra duties. Yes. So, trying to take care of everything. You should see my skills at packaging. You would swear it was week one with a tape gun, because it is not impressive.
Some people are going to get some very poorly wrapped packages come next week, I presume.
Yeah, no, oh, definitely.
Although anytime you've sent me anything, it's always come very nicely packaged.
Yeah, and there's a pretty good chance that I didn't package it.
Unlike that
But
one time I sent the half track to you.
yeah, that was a very custom box you had constructed for that situation. That's
Well, calling it a box, I think, is generous. That was
yeah,
that
that
was
was nearly a crate.
barely, well, it was barely cardboard though. It was more like a tissue paper cardboard box. It was pretty weak by the end of it, but it made it.
It did make it. The let's see, what do we have? What was that? 2018 Axial Fest?
Oh man, 20. When was the last one I went to? 2019. I didn't go. So 2018 was the steam powered truck. 2017 was the half track.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember that.
Yes, you got to go back in time. I'm starting to forget all of those years.
Yeah, so let's see. You had the half track and then the steam powered truck.
Yeah.
Both very large projects. Are you going to do another just ridiculous project?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because
Oh, new plan.
it's in the works and it's on the bench right now. You've already seen this. It's the 6x6 Cherokee XJ.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you can't see it right now, but my viewers can. It's currently got some Range Rover wheels on it, and I'm just starting to work out body mounting. I'm trying to do the pivot, so it'll pivot off the front like the 6x6 normally does. So yeah, it's a work in progress. It's a long truck. For some reason I like long, stupid, useless trucks.
I can't explain that for you.
Well,
I don't even know what to do there. I was getting an echo on your side, from my side, from you, and
is it fixed now?
I don't know. We're trying there. We're getting there.
Okay, all right.
Do you have your SCX3 with you today?
I do. Yeah. Do you have your SCX10 III?
I do.
Okay, that's something we can both share. Get this thing out of the way.
Mine is not complete yet, but
Well, I'm not surprised.
it's at least present. So I've already accomplished the portion of this build where I send the body off to somebody competent.
Yeah.
But the roller's actually up, and honestly, I think that the only thing that I haven't done is I haven't fixed my drive shaft issue yet, where the manual had the little typo. Or
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, the two wrong ends on the front drive shaft. Yeah.
So I needed to get that done, but I lost the little slider that goes between them.
Oh.
Because it came apart, and somewhere I took it to the office and all that, and now, yeah. But we'll get that sorted.
Oh, I am hearing my own echo on your end.
Man,
which is weird. A lot of folks
annoying.
really like your shirt. Duncan Ellico, Bucks RC World, Bad Habit RC, Dylan Tobin. The Right RC wants to know if you designed the roads that are on your shirt.
That's partly the reason that I'm so fond of this shirt.
That really nice roundabout right near your neck.
Yes, that looks like more of almost like a traffic circle. But
oh yeah. I guess if we're gonna be really specific about it, that is not a true roundabout.
Right. So I'm a big fan of this shirt.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Very nostalgic.
I'm showing off the new bumper that I did for my SCX10 III, which is very nice.
People are asking about the wheels. The new chrome plastic bead locks that come on the SCX3. I actually had no trouble by just slamming these things together
Oh yeah, they were easy.
during the build.
They went
Yeah,
together
they definitely went
easily.
together. I haven't ran them obviously yet. Um, I know these are the same style wheel that came on the Capra. I didn't even assemble the ones on the
No,
Capra though.
neither did I. They didn't make it out of
But
the
I actually
bag.
really like these new Nitto tires.
Yeah, they're a good tire.
You changed yours out
I
to the
did.
MTRs,
Yeah, only because I have this weird problem, and every truck that I have has to have these now.
right?
They're a
Just,
great tire. I love the look. I like the asymmetric tread pattern. I
yeah,
like the width. They're not a super wide tire. And they just kind of look like a stock aftermarket tire. They're nice.
yeah. I have to decide. I'm looking forward to going and running this. Hopefully, if these tires perform well, I like the size and the square profile that these tires have. So I think that I might run these for a while, or run these even on other vehicles
Oh
if
yeah,
they do perform.
yeah, absolutely. Those will make it onto something else at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna get another one of these. I think because this is like this one's the pre-production one. So
Yeah,
there were a few little weird tiny things that probably aren't on the actual kits, and I want to have a real kit so I can put that away.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to
That
wreck
makes
this one.
sense.
Um, some other questions. Are we going to see the scale points? Bucks RC World is asking, are we going to see what the scale points are again on Josh's build since last week? Or have they changed on any of your
My
Nats
scale
trucks?
nationals, my scale nationals points have not
No,
changed.
shocker.
We could go through it, tell you about all the points that I would get on my new or on my flip that truck though. We could easily run through that.
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, it would take like what 6 points, so 30 seconds.
Oh, I mean, just from a 6 foot glance, I'm thinking 48, 49.
Okay.
I
Uh,
just mine style can get scale points.
right. Yeah. RC Sparks Studios here again. Thanks for checking in there, sir. And thank you for thanking us to thank you for keeping you entertained. Glad that we're.
Right, here you go.
That's what
They
this is all about. I think really is two idiots talking to each other endlessly for hopefully not 5 hours again tonight. But
right. Well, yeah, because it'd be 3 a.m. there.
oh
But
god, yeah, I forgot about the time difference.
for me, it's nothing.
Yeah, you just got home.
Yeah, I rushed home to try and get this done.
It's important that you have your priorities straight. Did you eat any food today? Have you eaten food yet?
I didn't eat dinner yet, so. But if I'm live streaming, I just forget about it.
Yeah, who
I
needs
mean,
it?
sometimes the some people are asking about the 3D motor. This is actually the SCX3 comes with this, you know, pretty nice little LS V8 style engine cover on it.
Yep.
It goes over the side where, well, I guess it covers the actual electric motor underneath, and then it doesn't cover the where the servo would be. It just kind of leaves that open.
Right.
So
Under the
it needs a,
assumption
3D
that
printed
when they
filler.
made this, they made it kind of to fit a taller servo. But I was trying to think of like what servo could be taller than the ones that we normally use.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen how much servos vary?
What?
Like, I have a hold on. I have a picture that I've saved on my phone for ever
Oh, for just this purpose?
for just this type of purpose.
Uh-huh.
And it was one day we were somewhere and we had all of the photos that or all of the servos in our box at one point.
Ah.
So it'll be an interesting.
Yeah, they do
So-
vary quite a lot.
And that's if you just start looking at like all of the mounting locations and all that.
Yeah.
The heights of mounting tabs and all of that just are all over the place. Like
Right.
the depths from the face of the servo to the actual mounting tabs and the mounting tabs to the top. Like I could easily see how this people will have hard times with some servos,
Yeah,
and I have
absolutely.
no doubt.
I'm sure we'll see an aftermarket option for someone creating the other set of what's that called? The cylinders, cylinder
Oh, the valve cover.
valve cover, right? Valve cover.
There you go. Yeah.
Have you
But
painted? Have you painted your motor yet?
these motors are mainly black in the first place.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
like
Uh huh.
this seems pretty scale accurate to me.
Yeah,
So
I think you did a really great job.
I'm okay.
Um,
If anything, maybe we should get some dirt on it.
yeah, sure. Well, you could use an airbrush and spray some on there. Just some, faux. I know. I'm talking crazy to you.
My I use the disposable airbrushes. They come in a can.
Oh, I have one of those too.
I mean, this is actually a CA accelerator. So
Oh, shouldn't spray that.
it's a can of something.
Stephen Morgan was asking
Uh,
if you could do a side-by-side comparison of the the new Nittos versus the old Nittos. I can't because I don't have the old ones handy.
I don't have them. I don't have an old set of the old Nittos either.
Shucks. Okay, that's ruining that.
Nope. No, I don't. I do think that Rich from Axial did
Oh yeah,
have a photo of that
that
on RC
that's
Power.
true. There's a side-by-side cut right down the middle of one versus the other, so you can see a good side-by-side right there.
I think these are considerably wider.
They are. They're at least 0.2 inches wider, maybe even more.
Yeah,
Because
and I mean, that's for people in metric land. That's like 6 mil.
I guess I don't know how to do the conversion. I always go online.
Well, 0.25 is 6.35, so it's probably closer to like 5 mil.
You can. I don't. Those are numbers. You're speaking gobbledygook to me.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. So no, but overall, this was a good build. I had fun with it.
Yeah, it's a heck of a good
It's-
truck.
You know, I wonder if you'll feel the same. I feel like this is going to be a much more difficult truck, though, to kind of be that custom base for everything.
Well, that's
Um,
okay. That's interesting that you say that because I don't know if I don't think I agree with you on that.
So I'm just thinking, well, like how it's so much more involved, like how the front motor gets there, where all the mounts go, how many pieces the mounts are separated, and the skid plate with the link mounts, and how the two-piece chassis goes together,
Yes.
and how that all ties through the skid plate.
Yes.
Just
But
you're either
here's the thing. You depending on what wheelbase or body you're going to throw on there, you kind of only have to do that stuff once.
well, and if you're just talking about doing like a different body, and then that's easy, of course.
Right.
You know, I guess I'm thinking more of like the full end of the spectrum. Where you're basically like when so many of our trucks used to be. It was like the only things that were left were the frame rails and the skid plate, and the basis of the motor or of the transmission.
Right.
Say.
Yeah. I don't think we're quite in that same kind of realm anymore. I think it's a lot less about stripping down and changing everything. I think it's building a platform and building a modular sort of body or interior or something that can fit on this all the time. I think that's what people are probably going to end up doing more often. But
yeah, it's definitely. Well, I mean, anything now is like all of these products that are coming out, no matter who they're from, they need to be more of a better, or how do you it needs to be a better end-to-end product than they used to be. They used to just be like, here's the base for you to start making a truck that's worth something.
right, exactly. And I think this is probably mostly because of the competition that this truck has become what it is now. It is a lot less fiddle around, upgrade this, upgrade that to get to point B. It's a lot more like this is the starting point now, but you're already way better off than you were with the previous generation.
Right. I think there's no doubt that this has been brought on by, I mean, Traxxas most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, people are going to say it, comparing it to any, it's going to be to compete with the Traxxas.
Yeah. That's exactly why this truck is here. And, it's not.
I don't think that there's any, there's no tiptoeing around that question.
No.
It's, they know that people right now want a portal and a 2-speed.
Yep. Even though in most cases with current brushless technology, you don't really need a 2-speed. The argument that people make for it is it's like, well, if I'm going to a trail, then I just flick it into high speed and just kind of let it go. But I don't know. I still don't see the value in it. I think that's a point that we can both agree on, is that you definitely don't really need a 2-speed, and in fact, if I get another one and build another one, I'm going to log it out right away because I just don't need it. I'll keep the dig because I like dig.
Mine will definitely end up being locked out, but for the sake of the build, I wanted to build it complete.
Yeah, absolutely. Complete stock is exactly how I built it.
What I want to look at is, in the instructions it does have, and it comes with the little spacers to lock out, but I think you still actually end up with all of the gears and everything in there.
Yeah, you do.
I think you can't eliminate it. What I would actually like is a set to be able to pull those extra gears out and just have the things that I want in there.
Yeah, that would be ultimately the best solution.
Yeah. The question here or the statement someone just put super chitlin, but Traxxas has changed the game, like it or not. And they did in a lot of ways, I mean, I don't think there's any doubting that. I don't know that, I've had fun with the Traxxas trucks. I don't know that they're my preference for custom builds or things like that. I think that there is things about them that are pluses and minuses. Yep. And, they both, I think that in the end, the Traxxas is still probably going to be the most durable out of the box, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably
because I think that these axles are probably a little bit more. These axles definitely have some more aesthetic aim to them.
Yes.
I don't think that the Traxxas axle looks very good. It is very connect the dots. Here's the things we need to hold.
Yep. Yep.
Get them.
Yeah.
So
it's all about function.
But it is strong. It's a strong axle.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see what the weak points are over time on this truck. I haven't I've had a few dozen miles on mine, but I wouldn't say that I've torture tested it, just because it was pre-production. I didn't want to break anything the first day.
Right.
So
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it is definitely more durable than an SCX10 II. There's a lot more going on here, and a lot more rigidity, and a lot better plastics.
The plastics are a lot better. There's a lot more going on. Whether or not it's stronger than an SCX10 II will be an interesting. You've got extra gears now to worry about. You've got extra stub shafts, and sit down there, and you got a lot of torque applied by a portal. I have no concerns about the ring and pinion gear.
Oh no,
we know that those will hold up.
Yeah, well, we've driven those up to 60 miles an hour.
Anything, right? 63 if you will.
All right. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm really looking forward to trying to beat you at the next one.
Yes, I'm looking forward to defending.
Yeah.
But one of the questions here: do I like it better than VS Sport? No, but they're in different ballparks.
Yeah,
this is still a pretty entry level kit. You can get into this at a really good price.
Yeah, $370 out the door is pretty amazing for what you're getting in this package.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
Yeah,
the VS410 is still just kind of like my end game.
You want to spend double.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah,
then
you're
gonna
spend double.
You're gonna get a lot more truck.
So, but they're just different worlds.
Yeah, it's not fair to compare those two. I think if you want to compare then this is going to go up against like the more optioned out TRX4 or
Yep.
an Element, I guess. A lot of people are asking Element.
An Element's a lower price point though too. I mean,
That's true.
you know, you're getting into an Element quite a bit cheaper. I mean, the Element RTR is cheaper than this truck. The the builder's kit is quite a bit cheaper. Um, I think that they're kind of spreading out price point. This one's is more. It'll be interesting to see what the ready to run version of this comes out like.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a theory? I've been sort of trying to figure out in my head what it would be at, and I imagine it'll be brushed, of course.
Yeah.
They'll probably put that new Firma ESC in there.
Yes, that Firma 2-in-1 ESC. I see that definitely starting to come in their RTRs.
Yeah. Um,
I'm thinking that it'll come with both micro servos. It'll have 2-speed and dig.
you think it'll be both, huh? Yeah, I guess it has to be if they want to compete with Traxxas on that kind of end.
Yeah.
And then a Spectrum
Just
servo.
because on the Capra they did, in the Capra they put the dig.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yep. Okay.
I think that in this one they will as well.
What did the Capra RTR go for?
Ooh, I don't remember price wise.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up
Um,
real quick. Unless someone is willing to say out loud. Here, you know what? I've already got it. $449.99.
Oh,
Okay.
how did you already get it?
I'm looking at it on AMA. That's the Capra price.
Capra.
Yeah,
Okay,
Capra
done.
RTR.
And what did the Capra kit cost?
$329.99.
Okay, so we're looking at a
$120
$40 difference.
$120 difference. $449 versus $329.
No, I'm talking kit.
Oh,
to
oh,
kit.
I see.
$369 versus.
Right. Yeah, it's
$320,
$40
sorry.
difference. So imagine if it's $120 for the RTR on the Capra, say it's going to be $499.
Yeah, which does go up against the fully optioned TRX4s,
Yep, pretty close.
and I think it's a pretty good comparison with the detailed body. The TRX4 bodies are some of the best looking. The
Yes.
Chevy, the Bronco.
Yep, definitely. They've got good licenses, and their accuracy
Yeah.
is pretty close too. But I think this JL body beats them all.
That's what I'm saying. Like now, this one, super nicely detailed body with an interior and a cage.
Yep.
Like
You're getting some good
That's-
value there.
really good value.
Yeah.
The only thing I wish I would have seen, like the only thing,
Here we go.
is I wish the grill would have been a hard plastic. It's not even a big deal. Like they pre-cut it and everything on it. I just like that hard plastic grill for some reason. Even though like it doesn't match with the paint scheme when they're all done.
You can't do that.
I know.
That's odd.
Just, it really should come with angry eyes and
And I'm really disappointed.
Punisher
Yeah, I was just
grill?
going to say I'm really disappointed by the lack of Punisher stickers on the sticker sheet.
yeah. But
Like,
I-
hello.
yeah.
Everyone
it just
needs
feels like those
Punisher
hard
stickers.
plastic grills are just coming. The MST has it, which is kind of why I do like it on that. But
Nah.
they did a good. The fact that it's pre-cut already is like that's good enough. I agree.
Yes. I'm still disappointed that they didn't include the actual stock bumper. Like, to mold that up, just even if it were the stubby one with the end caps taken off, I think that would have looked so good and not made me print one out.
Yes, although you did do a very good job printing. I was very amazed at how well that print came out. But for me, I do like that they put. So that's always. This is an argument I've had many times in RC, like business sidewise, is how the full body trucks like the Blazer and the Bronco that Traxxas has look great,
Mm-hmm.
but they are a lunchbox to drive through the rocks.
Oh, man. You'll wreck any of those bodies in a heartbeat.
But that's the licensed body. It's full width. And I mean, they're good bodies, so they take the abuse,
Sure.
but they're big ass
Oh
bodies.
yeah.
Where a Jeep is got like a natural high clearance and a pinch, and the only thing that's really wide in stock form is that stock bumper
Yeah.
that most people aren't even super crazy. So putting on a licensed replica of one of your partner's bumpers, like I get what they because now they made a truck that has
Oh. Sorry, you just went crazy.
it's high performance.
Yeah, you went all of a sudden you went super frozen.
Oh yeah, you froze too with a real funny look on your face.
Yeah. Well, are you sure I was frozen? It could have just been normal. I'd like to quickly shout out some people here. Sounds like everyone, a lot of Albertans, New Zealanders are checking in all over the U.S. Very cool. Thank you for checking in. I've missed a ton of questions, and my wife is again behind the scenes keeping track of all the good ones, or trying to anyway. Boba Q Altered RC is asking if Axial's making another 2.2 rig, and do we think that that's a possibility?
Man, I don't know, because so they have the bomber currently, right?
Not for long though, right? Like you can only get an RTR. You can't buy a kit anymore.
Right. Which I don't know that means that bomber's on the chopping block. I think that they don't have any competition for it, and I think that it's still such a attractive rig on the shelf that maybe it'll still be around a while.
Yeah. Okay.
But they've got the Rock Ray.
Yes.
And I don't see that those are doing all that well.
Oh no. That's an unfortunate thing, because it's a good looking vehicle. I think it looks better than the bomber.
Do you think it looks better than what?
I think it looks better than the bomber.
You're a crazy person. Crazy person. The bomber far and away looks better than the Rock Ray.
No way.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
But am I being serious? Who knows? I could just be playing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that dumb look on your face again, so maybe
that's true. 2.2 rig, though, I don't know. I think 2.2s, other than the bomber, I don't think we're going to see a lot. I think that whole 2.2 thing is going away.
I honestly, as much as I always loved 2.2, I'm guessing that we won't see many, like, straight up 2.2 stuff, other than the go fast in general.
Yeah.
More desert buggy style.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it's going to, like, King of Hammers style stuff is my kind of guess for another possible emerging product.
I like that. I really liked that new. I don't remember what they call it. It was like the short course kind of, like, had the Brenthel fab.
The Tenacity.
Yeah, it was like the Tenacity Pro or something.
Yeah, Tenacity TT Pro.
Yeah, I liked that one, and then the actual that low C desert buggy they came out with last fall.
Yeah, that thing's good too.
That looked great.
Yep.
I think it doesn't quite fall into our market enough to really gain a bunch of momentum, but
no.
That's I don't know.
Any good questions on your end?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's
probably not. Your viewers.
I'm gonna scroll up. I think my viewers over here have the most intelligent questions for sure.
If you guys are watching on my channel, be sure to hit the like button, and if you're watching on Josh's channel, hit the thumbs down button.
Oh, ouch! Whoever has the most likes at the end wins.
Oh.
Owe me a Coke. Let's see. Let's go through some of these. Would you say these axles are less bulky than the TRX4 axles?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so. I do have a TRX4 here.
As do I. I don't know. One doesn't have portals on it. The other one does, though. Here, I'll get mine too. Is yours still? Oh, it's still stock body. Wow.
Yeah, this one is an all stock truck. Like I keep this one's just a beater all stock.
I don't know if there's room for both of these on here.
Hey, I left a battery in it. I probably need that.
That seems really safe.
Yeah, probably. Let's put that in the battery box.
Oh man, I can't. There's not enough room for both trucks on my bench.
So there is on mine, and I even have like close-up cams.
Well, so do I. So do I.
Oops,
There we go. That's sort of
the wrong one.
That's sort of good. It's good enough. But it's a Unimog now, so it doesn't look at all like it should. Oh, you've took the bodies off? Oh, brother.
I didn't. Jeez, I didn't notice until I got the close-up camera and actually looked that I don't have a diff cover on the front of this thing.
Those are overrated. Now, with all this quietness, I'm gonna find a question.
Yeah, I'm just doing some actual like side-by-side view.
Yes, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I've got a side-by-side going too. It's not the same wheelbase because I made this the 12.8? Is that the original Defender?
12.8 is the Defender and tactical wheelbase, right.
But Travis Gilmore mentioned that you are flexing your suspension already and have your your hand was under your truck too.
As I was doing it, I was actually surprised at how much flex the stock SCX3 has.
Oh, it can flex out, man, and it is Friday, so I'll allow it.
So on this day, we're allowed.
I mean, you're the one that should be upset about that.
Now, the other things, like, I guess sitting these two things side by side. I don't know why my desk camera isn't working now, but whatever, get there. Setting these things side by side, I will say that I think the battery position in the SCX3 is better.
Well, it's slightly, if I'm honest, I think it's slightly higher than the Traxxas truck, but it is in a more forward position.
No, I don't think it is.
You don't think it is?
I don't think that it is.
You know what? You're right. You are right. Chassis for chassis, if you have them like kind of leveled up at the same point here, it's actually,
I'm thinking it's like
much better on the TRX4.
4 7/8 to the bottom of the portion that's where the battery actually sits.
Yeah.
Versus 4 1/4, although the axial has a slope to it, so it's 4 1/4 to the front. But the center of mass of the battery, I think, is probably a little bit better on this. Now, I'm going to run my 4S packs in the side battery location that the SCX3 has to accommodate.
Yep.
Where in the Traxxas, I either used that optional front mount that had like the fender set up, which I didn't love. It was better than the factory one.
Yes.
But I didn't love it. Or I swapped to the Bauhaus.
Yeah.
Which is a better solution. But I'm just talking in stock to stock.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting comparison. I haven't actually taken the time to look at both side by side in some time. So this is interesting. I mean,
what's also interesting is how much longer the frame rails are on the TRX4.
Yeah.
17.5 inches tip to tip versus 16 1/4.
It's a lot more overhang.
So I was actually surprised too to see that the frame rails that are in the SCX3, they're the two piece, which we knew, um, but that the stock configuration, the 12.3 wheelbase, is the longest setting.
Is it?
Yeah, it can only go shorter.
Yeah, you're right. That's something I didn't notice. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
yeah, that's I found that I did I was like, oh, I was kind of surprised. I thought maybe they'd put some adjustment in each way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Interesting.
regardless, I do love the hard molded fender flares.
Yep. Definitely.
Inner fenders, not fender
Yeah.
flares. Sorry.
Inner fenders. Yeah. Yeah. There's not much to not like. I think they did a really good job for their third trail truck.
Yeah. Justin Birdsong asked, I wonder if they'll make it with a honcho body. And I wonder, like, will they carry the honcho body to a third gen?
That would be awesome.
Uh,
I would love it if they
Man,
would.
it would be cool if they would, but at the same time, I hope that they do a version in that spirit, but with an updated style and things like that, because that is my favorite style that they offer.
Yeah. That
But
honestly, when we did the Honcho budget build off, that was the most fun I had in a very long time with the SCX10 II. Because just having a Honcho again is great. I still have a new inbox Honcho SCX10 kit version that's still just sitting here, waiting for me to build it. But yeah, Honcho bodies are the best. If they could do like an updated and actually get like a Toyota license or something,
right,
that
yeah,
would
I
be
mean,
the best.
yeah.
Michael Deering asked if he can borrow your shirt. He's got a hot date at the Sandbox. That's great. I like that one.
That's definitely the best response I've had.
Yeah, that's
I've
good.
gone places out in public with this shirt on before.
I feel sorry for Nicole.
I don't know that I've ever gone places with her.
I don't think she would allow that.
It is a conversation started.
Or kill her, depending on who you're talking to. Ty Little, how come the SBG and RC Sparks have never crawled together? Because I live on the Middle Eastern side of Canada, and he's on the very west end. So not a lot of opportunities. It's like, how many times have I ever hung out with Josh? Well, too many, but it's like that amount of distance away, so it's far.
But I don't know if you caught this special moment in the build video that I did, the live build.
I hope you're going to talk
But
about the
I
shocks, because that was
yeah,
the best.
yeah.
I, just like squirt, 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 squirt. Oh, there's oil all over my table.
Yeah. Oh, forgot to put that little bleeder screw in. Just
That was the best. I loved that. I thought that was incredible. I actually went
yeah,
back and
that
watched
was
it like 4 or
definitely
5 times because that was so good.
yeah, well, we definitely lived and learned on that one. I've had some interesting moments building axial shocks on live video.
Oh, have you?
Hmm. The Yeti XL live build.
I'll have to go check that out.
There's there there's something about building those larger bore shocks that if you're trying to bleed them and then you think you have them bled and then you like move the shock shaft too quickly, it will explode into your face, and it's yeah, it's not a great thing.
Wow.
Makes for an awkward live video.
Wow. I have to quickly interrupt you and say that RC Sparks was very generous and sent me $50
Hey,
So
Canadian?
you know what? Probably Canadian dollars, but it's you know what? That is pretty amazing. Thank you very much, RC Sparks. Unexpected, unnecessary, but I'll take it. Thank you. That was very very cool of you. I I have to apologize. I didn't see it because I'm not watching all of the chat as it's going by. My wife is actually sending me texts with info and updates, so I missed it, and I apologize for that. I will do a better job of paying attention from now on. So thank you, and that's the end of my public service announcement.
Yes, there you go. The Jeff Walden asked, I think there's going to be a Wraith 1.9 kit. So, which I I think I would like to spin that to a different question. What do you think we will see, or will we see anything in the future developed or released in general SCX10 II?
Ooh,
Like at
wow.
this point, anything SCX10 II based in general, do you think we will see anything new?
You know what? I think they put a lot of engineering and probably parts and design time on the 6x6. So I bet you will see another 6x6.
You
As
think it'll be an SCX10 II based 6x6 new?
yes, yes, I do. But I don't
Okay.
think we'll see any traditional four-wheel drive 4x4s.
Right. And I get, and I'm kind of like backdooring that question in including a Wraith 1.9 into SCX10 II category.
Yes. Yeah, that I
So
think will continue. I think we'll see more Wraith 1.9s and a kit
you
version
think
too.
we'll see more Wraith 1.9s?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to kill that one. I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, I don't think that they're going to kill it. I just don't think we're going to see anything new.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Um,
I don't think we're going to see a new kit or a new color, a new any. I think we're just what you have that's SCX10 II based. I think that is what's available going to be available.
right.
And hey, I just want to say that RC Ranch gave me $5. So now what?
Oh,
And this is US. So I think we're damn near even.
that's well, no, well, yeah, no, you're not. It's still 70 cents on the dollar, so
Okay.
it's like it's pretty good. Earl Moorhead just sent me $1.99, so thank you, Earl. Appreciate it. I don't want to make this a competition because it's going to get ugly.
Yeah, and well,
Oh,
yeah,
I've
because I don't want to know what we'll each do for a dollar, but
yeah, I'll do a lot, guys.
I'm
I'll
not
do it
college
all.
anymore.
Um, confirmed from Rich. No kit Wraith 1.9.
Yeah,
So there you go.
which I don't. That doesn't surprise me at all.
No,
Although the 1.9 rate, I think was a kit that or a truck that did not get enough credit.
no, it didn't get enough attention either. I just kind of felt like it was kind of a flash in the pan. There could have
I
been a
don't,
lot
and I
more
don't
done with
understand.
that. I think.
I know, and because I freaking love that truck.
Yeah, it's a good truck.
And for me, it didn't get enough because I put in an axe system in it. And then I hate that system and I don't like driving it. And I haven't replaced it.
Okay. Uh, this is really super awkward for you. But another dollar amount just came in. I, I don't think you're gonna like it because it definitely means I win. But RC Sparks, $400.
What'd you say?
I said $400. That's outrageous. We might as well just make this the RC Sparks show tonight. I'm I'm I, I'm
Hey, you
gonna
know
have to
what?
call a
It
doctor.
couldn't happen to a nicer.
That's really amazing. Thank you very much, Aaron. That's outrageous. I don't. I'm gonna have to. I mean, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm probably. I think it's probably better for me to do something good with that money. So I'm gonna see if I can find a local charity here that can really use that money right now, because I know that there's a lot of people that are having some serious issues getting either food or supplies or medical stuff, and I think that's probably a better way to use that money. So when that comes in on the back end on YouTube, I'll make sure to get it out to someone who needs it badly. So thank you very much. That's really cool.
That was good. But
and I said it live in front of more than just one person, so I'm definitely going to do it.
Yeah, and I don't. This is very awkward because I got one as well.
Oh my god!
From Denali Underground, and for an obscene amount of money as well. This is not the point of it, I promise.
No,
it is more than appreciated. I can only tell you.
Yeah, it is more than appreciated. That's absolute insanity.
I'm not kidding. Like, this is because Matt and I, like, we're just trying to have some fun with you guys.
Like I say every time, we're just two idiots, just enjoying each other's company and hopefully entertaining everybody else. That's really amazing.
As well, it's ridiculous. This is amazing.
Outrageous.
In my, yeah.
I guys, it's so amazing. It really, honestly is. That's really crazy.
That's I don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
Do I have to take off my shirt?
Incredible. Yeah.
Getting a little warm.
Yeah. This is not exactly how I thought tonight was going to go, but it's.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually getting a little red.
So am I. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to use that money for good and hopefully brighten someone's day, or get some medical supplies that doctors desperately need. And I'm fortunate enough to be healthy and still have a job for now, so we'll definitely make that connection with somebody out there that could really use it. So thank you guys. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that's kind of a shocker.
Yeah, I know, and that's, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yes, very, and we'll keep this rolling so that we can keep it in everybody as well. But that is,
yeah,
it is much appreciated.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But
it definitely is.
But to keep it rolling, to try and hopefully give some entertainment to people that's why they donate it, which I appreciate. The transmission scale, like the drivetrain in this. Have you had to like just take it out to do anything separate? Like, I've taken it out once at this point.
No, I haven't had to take it out yet. It's just, it works. Haven't had any issues in that regard. But I
wasn't taking it out because I had an issue.
No, you're asking about like the reliability in terms of being able to get it out quickly and efficiently and being able to put it back together.
And almost just because I would love to see this little drivetrain in a Wraith 1.9.
Ah.
It's a cool little drivetrain.
Yeah.
It comes out and it's got this motor, transmission, transfer case look, which is cool.
Yeah.
The motor is high in this vehicle. Like, they took the sacrifice of motor position for scale looks.
Yep, definitely accuracy was point number one.
I don't think that they went after the motor position for ultimate performance. But it puts it in this cool spot up there, gives you a cool little scale drivetrain, and just over part of it is just going on and on and on about how much I really like the Wraith 1.9. And I would love, and not only just the Wraith 1.9, but that style of vehicle, which, the Capra, like, I guess almost kind of should have filled that gap for me.
Right.
But, I guess I feel like a huge hypocrite on the Capra because I for one love the axle width. Like, I really like that, as we always used to call it, XR width.
Yeah.
Which I think when we say XR width, people think that we're like, what are you talking about? Because XR width is not a width to people anymore.
No, no.
Like,
Some people
are you
know.
talking about that car that got discontinued 7 years ago? Like,
Yeah.
what? Okay, of course I know this obscure discontinue. Are you drinking moonshine now?
No, it's water out of a milk jug.
Out of a milk?
It's glass.
Do you sit down and just think of like, you know what would be quirky? I should drink out of an old milk jug. Like,
I drink out of this
like,
all the time. This is my water bottle.
oh, it's you just the like thermoflat. What do they call those? Hydro flasks are just too new for you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You got to go old school insulated,
Yeah,
like just straight glass. Like,
I can. Yeah, that's all I need. Don't judge my water bottle.
yeah. What was I talking about?
I don't
the capper.
Nobody cares.
I was talking about the capper, then I got distracted by it. Anyway, the capper should have been like, because I love the width of those axles and using those in certain applications, and I like the capabilities that width has, like between an SCX2 III and a AR60. And I really like caged vehicles like a Bomber or a Wraith 19, but the capper cage just didn't do it. It was like it's a little too small.
Yep. Yeah, and from a technical standpoint, it was very difficult to get everything to fit in there.
You mean on like the initial design, or are you talking about like during assembly?
Assembly, like all the electronics and everything, it was a challenging thing to find room. Like if you weren't using super small stuff, it was tight. Plus, I had a lot of extra stuff in there too, because I put the rollometer in there from Scale Built.
Oh yeah.
But no, I understand what you're saying. It wasn't. It's sort of that, like the axles are great. I agree with you 100%. The look of the truck, in certain angles, looks really good, but just the cage itself is kind of almost too small because it's a crawler.
It is, and I think that that's kind of the thing, is that it's meant to fill that XR10-ish void that there is people now, like everything went away from competition and went to scale. But now people are like trying to make these trucks that are uber competitive and they're kind of skirting the scale. But at the same time, if you dropped a new XR10 today, some people would buy it. But I don't think that it would get the masses.
No.
Where I think the Capra has got this blend enough to get those people. There's the people who are going to buy it, throw some big 2.2s on it, and try and just go. They're not even going to put the interior in it. They're just going to make it as capable as possible.
Right, exactly.
Or some of us are going to put 1.9s on it, trying to keep it narrow, trying to keep it fitting, shorter shocks, little things like so.
Yeah. Yep. And
it fits a little bit too much in the middle ground for me to like really be as fascinated with it as I am something like a Wraith 19.
Right. And at the end of the day, it still looks like something. You know, like you could visually, it's like something that you could go, oh, okay, I get what they're going for there. That's pretty cool. Whereas like an XR10, that doesn't look like anything, right? And comp crawlers have a very limited interest level for most people. So I see why they went the way they did, and it looks good, but it's it's not something that I'm going to use a ton, I don't think.
You know, I feel I just need to get mine set up a little bit more. It was a little bit frustrating for me at first with some of the setup. Mm-hmm. There's a few changes I'm going to make, get back into it, get some time under it, and I think it'll fit the need that I want.
Yep.
But I needed to get some time, and it just fell in a crazy time when for like me in business, like I had a bunch of obligations, like we had nationals starting, we had this, we had I never got to spend the time on it that I really wanted to.
No, and I drove mine off a cliff.
I had it. Yeah. And then when I did, we had it apart to be making the aluminum Curry axles.
Right, exactly.
So.
A couple of folks have asked, the Right RC and Flying 90 were both asking if those are cutouts for rock lights and if they will be doing a kit that includes them on the SCX10 3. And my guess is yes, that they're going to do a full option light kit that will have rock
I have
lights.
to imagine.
Yeah, that's got to be a thing.
I know as soon as mine hit my door, I had somebody message me about some dimensions on it. Um, because that person was looking to manufacture a light kit, and I'm not sure if they let me say. So,
Oh, gee, I wonder
no
who it
matter
was.
what, there'll be light kits available for these. I would bet you'll see light kits available for these things in a week and a half.
Yeah, probably not too long.
So, which is definitely something I want to add. Although I want to add color ones.
Oh, of course you do.
'Cause I'm
Spoken
fancy
like
that.
spoken like a true mall crawler.
Let's see. Would you prefer? I'm gonna let you field this one.
Oh, good.
Would you prefer the SCX3 kit or the TRX4 Sport kit, considering the price difference?
Oh, I would take the 3 kit any day of the week.
For me, I would as well because of the body largely.
Huh. Okay.
Um,
I think, well,
I'm looking at the well, for one, I do like that it has a dig. I think that once people really get to learn how to a dig works, which I feel like the one in this SCX3 is going to work far better than the Capra
yes.
because of the design differences.
Yep.
Um, so once that is accomplished and the body detail on this truck is so good, where the Sport is
Weak.
it's not a great body.
No.
It's not a good looking body.
No.
The Traxxas has amazing looking bodies in their licensed bodies, except the Defender. That looks like a Defender.
Stop. You know I like Defenders. The other thing is it's a little more feature rich for the money. You get inner fenders or inner fender liners.
That's true.
Sliders. Does the Sport kit come with sliders? Yeah, it
Yeah,
must.
it's got sliders.
Yeah. I think it's value. You'll have to buy electronics, but I would take the kit any day of the week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's talking about like the kit that we both used in the budget build.
Oh right, yeah. No, I would definitely any day of the week.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I think that so for me, you know, God, this is, how do I say this the least douchey way possible? Like for me, the price of the kit is not my main concern in a lot of ways. And I mean that in like the difference between, you know, this $369 kit and a $299 kit, because while I know that difference is a difference to a lot of people, and I'm not saying that's not a thing that people have to think about, but I think that with the amount of time you're going to have and invest and things like that, in the end you're going to end up with two very similarly priced vehicles. Most likely you're going to take and put money into this or that or this or that, or you're not going to put much money into either of them, and you're going to keep them both close to stock, but you're going to enjoy them for however long this time is. And if you kind of bring that over time, I think you should try and get what you want. Now, I'm not saying that the difference between a $299 kit and a $749 VS410 that shouldn't be a thought, because I'm trying to keep it within this ballpark.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that if someone's asking which should I buy, it's like, do you want the one that's kind of more based on like a scale look and accuracy, like what I think this one is, or do you want just something that is almost bulletproof out of the box? Like, because that TRX4 is just a machine in that way.
That's true. That's true.
It's, you know, the axles are a little bit more bulky. The ring gears and blocker are more bulky but beefier than in that way. The stub axles are 6 millimeter that neck down to a 4 mil thread. The gears are big. Other than the top portal gear, which I have exploded on however many from running a bunch of power. Other than that truck, that transmission, like you almost never have to open the transmission in TRX4.
No, no, it's
Now, and I'll be
so.
interested to see how the SCX10 II goes in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the biggest challenge. Is
The
longevity.
the only the only thing is that I don't typically lean towards the TRX4s with a bunch of the micro switches or micro servos.
Right. I I
So I know that those can be a failure point, and that's not been a problem for me because I usually don't have them.
right. Um, while I'm thinking about it, EMS Gillians is asking if a 550 motor will fit in an SCX10 III, and the answer is yes, but you may have to trim the motor cover, like the faux motor
Cover this piece
Right.
up here. But the theory is that it will fit. I've been told.
There's a lot of room in there. I've got a stubby in there, but man, I bet I have over 3/4 of an inch of room.
Yeah, you could probably get it in there.
Yeah. I mean, I have 550 brushed motors here. Like I could almost install one. It's it's quite tight in the front. Not there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot going on in there, and without a doubt.
My biggest pet peeve is this panhard bar, though.
You don't like it because it's small, right?
3 millimeter threads, that funky bend in it. So trying to get anything upgraded like is going to be a major pain. That's I'm not a fan of that part.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that should have been straight lined, and
Why do
something
you
should have been
think?
found to fix that.
Why do you think that it isn't?
Um,
Or
I
why do
think
you
that
think
it
it was
was
done that way?
I think that it was a matter of designing, getting everything in place, and then needing to connect 2 points, and it was done because it could be done. Like we can make curved rod ends and a bent link. Let's just do that. Here's a solution. It's done. And in this case, in this setup, it works. The suspension cycles smoothly, but I think the downsides would have warranted the extra time and effort put in to make it a link that was more reasonable.
Got it.
But the the shock towers in this thing are like a whole different world compared to any shock tower I've ever used.
Yeah, they're very different.
That real It's a very very new style of design, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, Pretty interesting. A lot of things about this whole truck just interesting,
Yeah, it's an
and not like
interesting
when
truck.
you just say not like when you just say, "Oh, that's interesting," to get out of actually having it.
No, there's a lot of interesting changes, and it's definitely a departure from what we're used to from Axial. I think it's well, I know it's Matt's kind of swan song because he's not working for them anymore, but he was primarily responsible for most of the design on this truck, and for all intents and purposes, it is definitely not your SCX10 II in any way.
No, it's the I mean, it's the first, you know, wipe the board and start over basically that they've had since. Let's see, the SCX10 original came out in 2009, 8,
Yep.
9.
Yep.
So that was a good run on that platform.
Oh man, such a good run. But competition is strong these days, and they needed to react to that.
Yeah, they do. It was time. I don't think there's any debating that it was time to dump the old and start over. Let's see. Um, can I buy a Park Place in Boardwalk? So I don't know why this question. This is completely off topic. That question reminded me of that documentary series on HBO, which was pretty decent about the Monopoly game. But then that made
Oh
me think.
yeah.
But and then that made me think. Have you watched Tiger King yet?
No, Rebecca and I are we're binging that starting tomorrow.
Okay, it's worth it. I watched it in 2 days.
Yeah,
But
we'll get
we'll
through it.
mark that. We'll mark that down for a topic the next
Oh
time.
yes, yes,
Oh,
definitely. I watched the first like 5 or 10 minutes before I realized, I should probably watch this with Rebecca. So I turned it off wisely.
yeah, that's.
Oh, here's a
It's
good question. U.S. U Spark Talk asked, "Who makes the better manual, Traxxas or Axial?"
Traxxas.
Yeah, 100% Traxxas. There's
There's
no question. And
No,
I
that's not a question at all. Traxxas has the best manual of almost any product I can ever remember using.
yeah, full color as well, and the diagrams are amazing. Everything's perfect about that one. I had the pre-release of the Axial one, and there are so many things that I had to photograph and send to Rich when we were doing this, and it's still I guess it's still managed just because there was no time to do a lot of reprints, but there were still issues that I think you found, right, Josh?
Yeah, I found a couple. There's a couple mislabeled or screws with a part number for a flathead instead of a button head, or
Right.
a couple of callouts missing the actual screw diagram on the side, like some simple stuff. And then the actual things that they found already, like the drive shaft issue. But um, and I myself have had a small amount of experience also putting together our own manuals for like the VS410. Um, and like this manual, this is maybe the thickest manual I've ever got on a kit.
It's an involved build.
It is. I mean, what is this? What is this thing in total with all 67 pages, with all of the legal jargon and note pages and exploded views and blah blah blah.
Yep.
Like the amount of time that had to be put in to just create this manual it's hard to explain to somebody how much time it takes to do all of it.
Yeah, it's not an easy task.
No. Now, some of that is outsourced in many situations, which was surprising for me to learn once I got into all of it. But at the same time, the amount of time that a team of graphics people at Traxxas must spend on those manuals is truly impressive.
Yeah, it is definitely impressive.
Here's one from Doc Doug. How does a dig work? And this is I'll make it as simple as possible. Now, I partially can't totally explain the best because currently my rear drive shaft isn't hooked up. But there's a mechanical system right here in the backside of the transfer case. And what it does is it should have, or technically has, 3 positions. One is when the mechanism is fully forward, it's connecting the rear drive shaft to the rest of the transmission, and therefore when power is applied like normal, it will spin your drive shaft, powering both axles equally. Then there's a middle position where it's basically the drive mechanism is floating in there, so the rear can spin freely independent of the one that's being powered, which would be the front. And then lastly, an all the way rearward position, it actually locks the rear axle, so it physically can't move, and the front can still spin. The reason that it's used is when it's locked, you can power the front and steer, and basically it'll hold it and just kind of drag you around in place, which is very beneficial, easy, good for turning. It can also be used when you're on like a steep climb and you want to lock the rear, let the front fight and finally find that traction, and then it will actually start to pull you up a little bit, and then with a good dig system you can engage it and pull you forward. That is the point where the Capra struggled the most. It did not want to release from a locked position under load. You had to basically let the truck relax, or almost at times back up to release the tension. This one I feel like has a much better chance of functioning better. But once you start using it, the amount of capability it adds to a vehicle is it's beyond any other little upgrade you can do to a truck. It's just it adds. It's an added tool to the vehicle that is. It's just a whole different world. So,
if any of you are still awake,
there's a ton of other situations. What's that?
I said, if any of you are still awake after all of that.
Why don't you talk about some quirky steampunk bottle you use for?
Well, this is my shaving cream dispenser.
Your toothbrush made from leather and.
This isn't shaving cream. It's styrene goop. I melt styrene dust and shavings and stuff and MEK, and then I use this as body filler.
Oh, you use it that thick, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mine's very runny, and I just keep pouring it on.
Yeah. All right.
Huh.
What else are we supposed to talk about tonight?
We'll just ring our doorbell.
Maybe you're getting Uber Eats.
Calling me first.
Oh, yeah, nobody does that.
What year is this? Right. Entertain people for a second.
Very strange. Oh, and I guess that's it for Josh. Well, good evening, Josh. That was fun. I'm going to find a question here. Glenwood Hobbs was asking, how did you do the battery placement on the RC four-wheel drive Toyota 4Runner? Well, I don't have that build anymore. I sold it off to someone who wanted it. But what I did was I ran it just behind the SUV, like behind the second set of doors. I just ran it with a Velcro strap right between the rails. It was pretty straight ahead, pretty easy. Biggs Darklighter asked if the SCX10 II is still a contender in comparison. There is a lot of support, like you said, but oh, look at that!
Ordered me pizza.
That's nice. I'm just asking or answering a question about the SCX10 II and if it's still a contender, as there is so much product and aftermarket support for that truck still available. Yeah, I mean, it's a simpler truck, and there's less to it mechanically, so I think it probably would be a lot of people's bases for a lot of trucks to come still. I mean, presuming that you'll still be able to get like the raw builder's kit and stuff or whatever. Is that what it was called? Raw builder's kit? Yeah.
Raw.
Oh.
No. That's a really good question, because there's a couple. There's another big point to that, which is it's the version that you can get without portal drain.
That is correct. But as most people have discovered, there will be a straight axle version of the SCX10 III.
It shows in the manual, 4 straight axle versions, so, but it's not here yet.
No.
And
so for the time being, and I mean the geometry. Do you think the geometry, that is good? Actually, kind of follow up. Do you think the geometry of these new, of the new kit, won't allow for the older SCX10 II AR44 axles to be installed on this?
I don't think so. With the offset?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it will, because I think that you'll immediately have drive shaft issues with this oil pan.
Right. That's sort of what I thought too, and that's sort of what I've been telling people. But I wanted to confirm it with somebody that's slightly more mechanically smart than me. But yeah, I think that right there is going to be the issue.
And the other thing is you could throw a straight axle in it, say that you make any of the modifications to get an AR44 under this centered pumpkin AR44. Thank you. then you also have the gearing issue, which this one comes with a 14 tooth,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, it does. 14 tooth.
But it only goes down to like a 12 or 11.
11.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 11.
Yeah, all down to an 11. So if you take out the reduction that this thing has in the portals, I don't know that just going down to an 11 tooth pinion is going to get you where you need to be. What I was going to see is if this thing has an actual gearing chart. I didn't look at the overall ratio or calculate that yet.
No, neither did I. 11 is definitely the smallest.
Yeah, I see that as well. You know what I'm not seeing yet? Did they not put a gear ratio chart in this thing again?
Not in the version of the manual that I have.
They didn't in the Capra either. That's when I discovered the crazy ratio change. I don't see one.
No, it's not in there.
Oh, you know what this could be, Matt? My favorite time.
Oh, God.
Gear ratio calculation time.
Good night. This stream is over.
Who else is you know what? I think that people on my channel appreciate this type of technical information.
I doubt very much. Well, actually, I'm sure they do.
Why would they need to get back to putting gear ratio charts in?
Is that a Little Caesars pizza?
No, it is a Blaze pizza. So it's like an actual, like a brick oven.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
It's it's barbecue chicken with not jalapenos, which is my favorite, but with some bell pepper.
Yum. That does sound pretty good. I'd be all over that.
Sounds delicious. But what I'm going to try and avoid doing is eating or making people listen to me chew on camera.
Oh, you should do it. I'll talk about other things.
To be more distracting. Like when I can hear people chew, I want to absolutely tear my own ears out.
So you're not into ASMR then?
In my chest at the same time. Especially someone who chews with their mouth open, and I can feel my ears start to burn inside as my brain is just like.
Jimmy Douglas, the 321 blocks that I got on Amazon. There's no real. You don't need a brand name for those. You can get any kind you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not actually using them for like very accurate machining, like precision ground, like you're worried about the tolerances of the 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. Just get yourself some Amazon ones. They look good in pictures.
They do. They work super well at flexing out a truck too. It's the only thing I use them for.
Are you secretly flexing on me behind the scenes?
I'm always flexing on you. Oh yeah. It's Friday, guys. Let's do it.
I'm so excited now that I get to do gear ratio calculations.
Oh.
Like I'm like, woo!
I can't believe you. Earl Martin suggested we should invite DJ Medic to come on one night and do the show with us. I mean, he sort of bought his way in, so why not? I'm going to have to reach out to him and email him my thank you. It's crazy. If I wanted to make something similar to that Vanquish Ripper you have behind you, what would you recommend? I would recommend asking Josh to build you a Ripper again.
Wow.
He doesn't want to do it because he likes to keep the numbers low on that truck, and
that's totally the reason.
It's really just about the aftermarket collector market that he cares about.
Yeah.
So it's not the demand for actually people wanting them.
Right.
Because he's lazy.
The fact that the time it takes to make those, taking away from the production of things that go out to so many more people and make people so much more mad about parts being out of stock.
It's like, well, what part do you want? Do you want the new dig for the VFD transmission, or do you want a Ripper?
Here's a comparison for you. Do you want, like, who's going to be more happy about this? one Ripper owner or like 40 axle owners?
I would say the Ripper owner. Who cares about the axle guys? I don't care about them. I've got lots of axles.
Yeah, exactly. Axles.
Who needs them?
Does the SCX10 III come with R35 compound tires? Do we know?
Yeah, they are. They are R35. Yeah.
They feel a little different.
Well, maybe it's the Losi R35.
It is at a different factory now, so
Yep.
it could be a different tire manufacturer as well.
Could be.
So
Who knows what they're doing over there?
it could, but I'm looking forward to see how they perform because I really like the size and the look and the profile. For that squared profile, which is more realistic.
It's a mall crawler look for sure. But they are a good tire in real life. No, I know. It's a really good real tire. But
Yes.
anybody who has a lifted JL in my neighborhood puts those on instantly.
Yeah, you live in downtown Toronto.
Yeah, I know I do, but that's what I'm saying. Most people who have lifted JLs here put the best tires on them and then never go off road. My stock Rubicon has more off-road miles on it than probably all of the other JLs in Toronto. But local, like Toronto local. That's because I actually go off-road and drive it. That's what I bought it for. What was I? There was one. Oh, somebody was saying, and I have to correct them because I'm a stickler about this. The Wrangler MTRs, one side is not on backwards. It's an asymmetrical design, so you're always supposed to have the wider spaced lugs on the outside. So even though it looks totally bizarre, that's correct. That's product correct. So just wanted to
Is it
clear
really
that
that
up.
way? You're supposed to have them with the wide.
Yep.
Oh, see, I thought that you were always supposed to have them so that they were facing the same direction.
No. They're supposed to be wider lugs out every time. So just had to clear that up. It gets
I did
lot
not
of...
know that.
I get a ton of comments about it. Your tires are on backwards. It's like, nope.
Where
That's
did
how
you
they are.
find this information?
On the Goodyear Wrangler website.
That's I guess.
Ask Chino. He's got them on his FJ40.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's an
Well, I trust
excellent
him,
off-road
so
tire.
I'll go there for info.
Yeah, not the website. You can't
Yeah.
be right.
Or some guy in Canada. But,
Lives in Toronto.
right.
Sorry, Toronto.
Well, yeah. However,
Tyler's RC Adventures is asking, what are our guys, you guys, what are your guys' all-time favorite crawler builds?
oh, okay. So,
I guess I'll let you go first.
okay, I will have to break it up into a couple different ways. So, one, like, favorite stock style vehicle crawler builds. And I know I have mine immediately.
Okay, go ahead.
Mine is Richard, pardon my noobs, Jeep Cherokee that he, like, I don't like Jeep Cherokees at all, but he built that, like, trashed one with, like, the rear window busted out and, like, actual plastic and little fine duct tape around it. My favorite stock style scale build.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
So,
And then for me, it's probably also a Richard build. It's the, can you guys see that? It's the orange Yoda, the orange doorless Yoda, right there.
let me see it. Hold on a second. Let me switch. So, there. Now they can see your view a little better.
Yeah, I'll go to
Why
my full
is
screen.
that one of your favorites?
Because it was, I think, you know what? That truck was built so long ago. And it's built on to me, a bruiser chassis. So this is going back to the days before there were like axial kits and stuff. It's a bruiser chassis, and it's bruiser axles, but the axles are the Rummid axles.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him?
Yeah, Nick Rummy.
Yeah. So it's got Rummy axles, bruiser chassis, SCX10 transmission, which I obviously was like a rehash later on down the road that was changed in. But it's like honestly one of my favorite crappy trucks, and I think he did such a nice job on it that when it was up for sale, I instantly bought it. I'll never get rid of it. It's one of the trucks that I think really got me jazzed about the scale hobby again.
Yeah, there's some old builds that were done back in the day that always got me really excited about, like either just how well done they were at the time, especially, or the technology that was in them for the time.
Yep.
There was one built a long time ago on the boards by a guy named Jason Carter. Jason in Augusta was his like screen name.
Yep.
A super talented guy in just a ton of different fields. But he built what it was called at the time, the build thread was called the Hydro Scorpion, and it was based on TXT1 axles, and it was a fabricated Scorpion cage. Which you remember the Nylint that had the Scorpion, that was all based on a full size chassis made by I think Avalanche Engineering. Anyway, and he took that and then he actually sourced and fabricated a fully functional hydraulic system for the steering. So, and then he did, he put in he built his own little potentiometer system so that the hydraulic steering had to return to center.
Cool.
And he built all of these things himself. Like, I didn't know what a pot was at the time. Like, I didn't know what that pot standing for potentiometer and what it did, and like all of these things I learned in 2004 or 5, and it was just like one of those things. And I think that belongs to Jason Hensel, one of the owners of RC Crawler,
that's right,
in Colorado. But that is like probably one of my favorite old school builds.
Yep. Yeah, there's some amazing builds out there, and there's a lot of people doing some crazy stuff now, like that guy out of Russia that's doing the servo actuated lurching and the body thing.
Super scale. Yeah, I've got one of those here.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see how far this hobby has come in not a lot of time. And I think that we're really, now is the golden age. We're really going to see a lot of really cool stuff happening over the next couple of years. And I think that there's a lot of room in this market for the competition that exists now. I think there's going to be even more. Give it 2-3 years from now, I think it's just going to be huge. Just going to keep going. This is an easy hobby to get into. There's not a lot of barriers like with racing. Man,
that's a really good point.
Yeah, it's so easy for someone to just jump out and get this stuff and be good at it.
Yeah, I think that it's still not easy in some ways, being that it's still one of those things where you can kind of look at getting into it and you still don't know why to pick what. Make sense?
Fair, yeah.
Like, why do I want this that costs $200 more instead of this Gen 8?
Yep.
Yep. Or, and a lot of it at that first outset, just walking into it, it's what body do you like? Mm-hmm. Like, that's, I think, what makes so many people, I think that's honestly why the Honcho does so well. People love that Honcho style body.
Yeah.
In cage.
Yeah.
Bomber and Wraith, same thing.
Right. Oh, someone, Project One just mentioned Headquake. I think for me, Headquake is a huge inspiration, and I'm very fortunate to be close enough to where Headquake lives that I can go and hang out with him. I haven't seen him in a long time. Trucks has not been his focus. It's been his music again for a while. But he's still pumping out a few videos here and there, and he was instrumental in getting me into this hobby and kind of thinking outside the box and doing some weird stuff. So he is definitely a huge inspiration. And a very lovely guy. Very nice man.
His stuff is I mean, amazingly, inspirational to see. Like, for me, so many of those times, like, I love to see the craftsmanship side of what somebody like he does, and seeing how he can take a piece of Lexan and hand score it to make it look like a headlight lens.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
Never mind
At the
build a
same
truck
time,
out of wood.
Like seeing him take and build a Dodge body out of wood, which, is incredible.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I see how amazing and cool that is. But at the same time, I know for me that is not something I would necessarily strive to want to own.
No, it's art, what he does. It's art.
Yeah. And, for me, like, a custom cage by, like, UC Fab. Okay, like, the art that goes into how amazingly clean and precise his bends and weld joints are. Like, that stuff is something I super appreciate, because I know, like, me trying to tackle things my own self, like, I can see the difference between me getting a joint and a cope close enough and me having that mindset being, that's close enough, weld it. Where someone like him is obviously going, this is a mile away, there's no way I'm going to weld this onto something I'm making,
Right.
And I almost think that I have a slightly picky nature in some ways, but nothing compared to how some of these guys are fabricating.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
That's sort of stuff I'm probably not going to ever be good at, because I just don't have the space or the equipment to really focus any of my attention on it. So I'm gonna have to stick with what I'm good at and buy the things that I'm not good at. Because I just don't. I literally don't have the space.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been lucky with space and, like, a very forgiving wife. Like, right now, my garage is it's taken over. Like, we're parking. We have a 2-car garage, and it's currently occupied by everything that I needed for Scale National.
Yeah, everything, like, other than cars.
Fabric, yeah. Table, fab tape, like, everything. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And thanks to Chibs for $19.99.
Wow, dollars still rolling in, huh?
They are, but we had some. I'm just scrolling through questions, and for some, I like this one. I feel like we need it to be said. This is for you specifically.
Oh, good.
Do you weather your water bottles before drinking from them? Like, can it be a new milk jug, or does it have to have, like, some patina? And is it honest patina? Like,
for the record, and I need everyone to see this. This is like a new water jug, it's a quart, but this is from a vegetarian restaurant in town, and what they do is of course it is.
Of course.
Yeah. They package their fresh juices in these, and then they ask you to return them so you can refill with juice. But I don't know, I've had this for like probably 10 years, and I just drink water out of it. At least I don't have the Edison bulbs like we were talking about the last time. Although I'm considering putting one in.
Yeah, why not? I don't think mine would go with mine as much.
No.
I would need the twinkle lights, just like the
You've got the full YouTuber setup already.
Uh-huh.
All you need to do is make one of the lights purple, because then purple and blue, that's every YouTuber channel. And like I said, tiny potted plant. Then you're good.
Yeah, I do need the little tiny white pot green plant.
Gustavo Royo Ribeiro said that the Horizon site states that the final drive ratio is 45.6 to 1 on the SCX10 III.
With the 14 tooth?
I presume that's with the stock gearing, yes.
Well, that's a good gear. That's the sweet spot
Yes,
range.
heck
So
yeah, it is.
I'll give him that.
Matt did it
But
right.
now you take that and you take out a what do we have? Um, it doesn't say. I'd have to count teeth. I can't remember what the ratio is on the portals. But
uh,
you take out a nearly 2-to-1 in the portal,
yep.
and then you're going to be in the 25-to-1 range. Dropping a couple of teeth on the pinion's not going to get you there.
No. That'll be interesting. I wonder what they're going to do with the straight axle. Do you think it'll be a different ring and pinion?
No, that whole thing that you saw with the transmission.
Right.
It's those first two gears.
Yep.
In that trans
changes it.
They're basically taking
46-to-1 to 27-to-1 or something.
Right. Yeah. In the current what we have here, we've got a 1-to-1 gear ratio there,
Mm-hmm.
227 tooths.
Yep.
In the straight axle version, they've got a 1.7-to-1, which is likely the same gear ratio that they're taking out of the portal.
Yeah. Yep. So it just replaces it. So I won't be burning out my motors like I did when I took the portals off the TRX4.
Yes, exactly. And that issue that you had there.
That was fun.
Oh, I missed that Chibs gave me 1999 twice.
Wow.
Because he is also someone. I'm reading through comments here, and someone had noticed that. So thank you to Chibs.
Tom Andrews, you're asking if I have the STL files for the bumper that I did. I do, but it's not really ready for prime time. It prints the bumper, but then I had to make my own mounts, and I kind of glued it on for now. But I mean, I'll eventually get around to making a good one. So stand by on that. It'll happen. It'll happen eventually.
Yeah. What else do you have other big plans on trying to make this as stock as possible?
Well, I'm gonna take I'm gonna change the body to a hard body, obviously.
Oh, you're gonna throw on the printed version.
I am. I will do that. This one will require some mild trimming. just a little trim. I mean, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. I'm not in any rush.
No, you're just looking forward to doing all that sanding on that 3D printed body.
Oh man. And it's PLA, so I can't take it out in the sun.
Oh yeah, the minor downfall of the difference.
It'll be nice and melty.
Yeah, that's the manual itself here on this one, which I don't keep anything like boxes or anything like that. I don't keep that stuff, but I keep manuals to everything, and I have like a library of manuals.
Yeah, mine are all
but
right
I keep
over there.
I wish I had them here, but this one's going to take up its own section for sure. But
it gets its own shelf.
Just every time I pick it up to move it. Ooh,
I know, it's a big manual. I had to print mine myself. Oh, and funny story. This is actually kind of funny for me anyway. When I printed it out, and I started going through it, and I got to the link building section. I'll pull up the page right now because I have it. I started putting the actual links up against the picture, and I was like, none of these links are the right length. All these pictures are wrong. Or all the dimensions are accurate, but these are supposed to be 1-to-1 diagrams. And I called Rich on it, and I said, Rich, there's something wrong with the manual. All the pictures are the wrong size. And he goes, did you print it out at 1-to-1, or did you print it out on 8.5 by 11? And I was like, oh yeah, that's what I did. So it was me. I screwed it up. And Josh, you got really tiny on me here. Hang on. There we go. That's better.
Yeah, yours is the same.
Connection issue. Yeah.
Small connection change. Which Skype likes to do on its automatic.
Thanks, Skype. What turn motor would you get for the SCX10 with portals from Holmes Hobby? Would you get from Eric Twin? And that's probably for the SCX10 III that he's asking.
Right.
I would say 35 turn. Or like a...
I figured that's what you would say.
16 turn 5 slot, maybe?
So my recommendation, for me at least, is I like the 13 turn Crawlmaster, which is the equivalent of about a 27 turn standard brush motor. Which the reason I like that is it's got a little bit of speed to it still. It's got a nice little little bit of pop, kind of faster than walking pace for sure. While you're on the trail, you can kind of buzz around in front of you and do stuff and play around. So that's the one that I like. If you want something that you're just kind of be a walking speed, then you're probably looking at the 16 turn Crawlmaster or a 35 turn. So.
Yeah, what he said.
But hopefully. I know I'm having a little bit of I had a laggy connection for a minute. I think it was on my end.
Josh looks tiny, is what most people are saying, which is true. In real life, too.
Yes, right.
I'm way taller than you. I'm like a giant compared to you. Like 80 feet tall.
I'm only 6
80
foot.
feet tall. Shocker red hair. Arms like tree trunks. JDK asked if I had a headlight kit installed on the 10 III, and I do. It's just a very basic kit that I put through a Hey-OK controller, so I've got brake lights that function. I'm hoping that someone will do a more advanced kit, because I'd really like to get the actual halos that exist in these on the Rubicon headlights, the LEDs.
That I forgot about. Someone was just saying that they ordered. They saw somebody already had a kit up on Instagram
with
the halos.
I'll need a link for that.
Yeah, they said they just ordered.
Link, please. Put it in the description.
Yeah, whoever said that, I read it and I didn't 100% know. So I was like, well, it'd be interesting to see if someone knows where that actually came from. So.
Michael Lenheiser, I do find DMSs or deadman switches useful, especially in a comp situation. It's a lot easier on some of these trucks to have a deadman switch than it is to take the body off to get at the battery and disconnect it. So anytime I can use a DMS, I will.
I've got a DMS in my Ripper. I don't use it as much in comp situations because I run pretty tiny batteries. Not that tiny. Like I run 1300 milliamp packs usually, 4S packs. But so a 1300 milliamp 4S will get me usually 45 minutes of runtime, which is way longer than a comp course. But in a comp situation, I'm usually so cautious that I will swap a battery out after any 5-minute course, like whatever it is, just swap the battery. But on my Ripper, the battery's underneath of the hood and it takes 4 screws to get it out. So I like to I'll run like a 4,000 pack in that, 5,000 pack even. So it's nice to just be able to pull that deadman switch and know that I don't have things, I'm not, I don't use the switches that come on my ESCs. I always cut those off. So I don't ever rely on that little switch.
Josh actually cut the Josh cut the switch off my Ripper at Axial Fest because it failed.
That sounds like something.
Because it, yeah.
Oh, that's why I don't run switches. And do people actually know what a DMS is?
I don't know. Maybe they don't. I mean, I've done a video or two on them, and I thought it was pretty crazy cool technology.
I remember you put one in your You put one in your Trailfinder too,
Yes,
right?
in my Marlene crawler. I also have one sitting right here, so I can easily take it out of its package. This one's from Power Shift RC. And imagine, if you will, for a moment, that this battery, it looks like a battery in a little case. It has a strong magnet holding it together. You can see that those are the... I'm terrible at this. Why am I bad at that? There's magnets there, right? So that is essentially completing the circuit. And you plug your battery leads into a separate set of wires here, and then so like battery to ESC, and then this completes the circuit every time that's connected. So cool.
I had that same version that you
He's
had
updated it since then, hasn't he?
Yeah. And I had that version, and mine got insane hot. And
4S or 3S?
But I'm running on 3S
really?
only. But the reason is that up here in gold country, we have a lot of iron.
So it would pick up all the...
It was like finding its way kind of in that area, and I think it was arcing rather than making a good solid contact.
Right.
So I had to swap out to this style, which is the basically a buried XT60 connector within the pack. So
yep, your stream got better, so I'm moving you around the screen here. Hang on. Oh, jeez, ridiculous.
Right. People are disappointed that this is only printed on one side and not on both sides. It does feel cheap when you look at it like that.
Quick shout out to Moose Jaw RC. Thank you for watching the entire episode. I don't know how you did it, both this time and last time, but thanks, appreciate it. And no, I don't have any 155 RC four-wheel drive Landies. They are a popular wheel, and I don't think RC four-wheel drive's made any in some time. They're definitely experiencing I think a bit of a production issue, slowdown maybe, because of all the stuff in China.
Yeah, I'm sure that they definitely are feeling that pinch.
Yep.
The let's see. Barbecue Altered RC asked, do you think that Axial will ever make another XL vehicle again?
No.
Now, I don't think they will either, but I would love if they did an XL SCX.
Oh man, like a fifth scale.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even care if that one actually had had very little wheel speed, just straight up
a super crawler,
but scale, scale, full body.
Yeah,
like, I would be so all over that.
That'd be pretty rad, actually. Yeah, I'd be into that.
Just the ability that you would have to go through the scale route on something like that, like how much easier it would be to make things scale on a scale that's large. Like,
that's true. Project One, these are Power Shift RC Deadman switches. Just Google Power Shift RC.
Yep. He's the same one I get my winches through. Do you use
I use his winches. Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
Jonathan is an excellent
I like it because his winch controllers that are included with the winches are also 4S safe. So
yeah, that's true. Yep. What was I? There was something else that came up here, but I missed it. Oh well.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, I missed. Oh, is the 1800 kV too low for the Capra or the SCX3? Well, those are definitely two different vehicles. I think for the Capra, it's not really too slow because the gearing in that truck is so off comparatively that 1800 is pretty fine. For me, that would be too low in the SCX3 though. The SCX10 III is like right in the sweet spot for gearing, I feel. So that's where that 2700 to 3000 kV is like my choice, which is faster than some people like. But for me, that's like I've kind of switched more towards that 2700 kV, because even though maybe it's not recommended, like 2700 kV on 4S is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I
3S for normal, 4S is great though.
I'd echo that. I've got a 2850 in my SCX10 III, and that is pretty spot on, exactly where I wanted it to be.
Yeah. The Chips was saying, Red Cat has the large fit scale rig. Have you seen that in person?
Yes, I have. We saw that together at by the fire. They had a couple of them there.
Oh, they did, and I've seen them at NERSA and driven them around there. And yes, they technically do. And that's actually just like an MOA, like big
Yeah.
MOA axle stretched out from a TVP with a big old body on it.
Yeah.
So yes, technically, I would like to see something like scale drivetrain, shaft driven, accurate axles and all that. But yes, technically, they do have something that fits that little area.
Well, why don't we talk briefly about some future projects? Because one of the things I'm working on is actually taking the Origin VS410 and putting a 6th scale CJ or Willys Jeep on there, like a military style Jeep, flat fender.
Have you talked to anybody about that?
No, why?
Brandon and I both not with funny enough, neither of us are using a VS4 chassis.
Okay.
But because we both have custom chassis we both have 6 scale Willys bodies, and we both have custom chassis that were made by the Carnage crew out of Colorado about 12 years ago.
Wow.
And we have just had them since then, and both of us were just like, we should use these things. So, but we are going to use the VFD as our base. Yeah, and we were both. It's funny that
That's so
we have
weird.
not talked about this at all yet.
That's really interesting that we're all doing that.
What axles do we plan on?
Well, here's the thing. Every time I've seen one of these builds, they're always on Wraith axles. Right? I just feel like that's too big.
And and I guess this would probably play well to the difference in because a stock Willys is on these little toothpick axles with these little narrow wheels and they just kind of, and I could see how that's probably something you would like. Whereas I really like these guys who take a flat fender and throw 60s and 40s on it,
right.
with an LS.
Yeah.
There's a guy I follow on Instagram who was on Ultimate Adventure in maybe like 2012 or 13, and his screen, I can't remember what his screen name is, I'll have to find it for you later, but he's got a flat fender stretched out in the front, 6-liter LS in it, and he's just a madman, and it's such a rad build.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So, I just realized this thing makes noises.
I'm pretty. That kind of chuffs me that we're both, or all three of us, are considering that as a build platform. That's fun.
Yeah. So I've got the G.I. Joe Jeep body. Excuse me.
Okay.
Brandon has one of the Dragon Jeeps.
Same.
So, which is the much more detailed version, and whereas mine is the more simpleton.
It's the Josh version.
Yeah, it's more fitting for sure. So, yeah.
I keep disappearing. You keep. You got big on me again. Sorry, I have to I'm fiddling with this stuff here. This is annoying. This is so awkward.
So let's see. Ed just asked me here, Matt, Josh, what are the options for fitting a Mamba X and ESC inside the chassis if I eliminate the rock sliders? I'm wondering what, Ed, you'll have to let us know what platform you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's also a delay, so like sometimes we don't know 100%. Like,
Exactly.
um,
Pete George, thanks for watching. I'm really glad that you're learning so much from both of us. It's pretty awesome that we're able to. I'm not sure we've taught anybody anything today. It's definitely not a learning episode, but it is definitely an entertaining one. So at least we're doing that. And no, pardon my noob tonight. He must have an early shift tomorrow, so he's not joining us, which is unfortunate. But at least we got a lot more accomplished, because usually I'm just laughing at all of his comments.
Oh, Ed was talking about the SCX10 II. So
I'll let you field that
personally,
one. I'll be right back.
the SCX10, well, not this, the Mamba X is my favorite for mounting because it's got those 4 M3 screws right on the top that the fan goes through. Or if you remove the fan, which we don't need in a lot of our cases, you can mount through those bosses in so many different ways. And I've done it to make different types of ESC mounts. I did it on this truck actually this last week. So in this truck, I can't put it on the sliders because there's an interior there. So, and I haven't finished wiring this, so it's going to be tough. Let me switch to the. Ooh, it's really close up in the face. So, for those people who actually can see it on my feed, sorry for Matt's viewers. And don't worry, because you can't see it much better on mine. But regardless, I've got the Mamba X tucked way back in there. You can see it down through the dash. But I've got it tipped up vertically just so that I can mount it to a face like that, and I just bolt through. So the Mamba X is just come up with something simple and turn it and then just mount through those screws. It's the best because you have like this hard mount, you fix it anywhere. And if you don't have some, I don't know that I have it in here, but pick up some like 1-inch aluminum angle from Home Depot. They have it nice and thin, like 1/16 thick, and it's super easy to work with super basic tools. You don't need anything super advanced, and you can just little thing. But look outside the box for mounting it with those screws, and you'll come up with something. Or shoot me a message, and we'll come up with dumb ideas together.
That should come quite naturally.
Yes. The let's see.
Top of the morning to you, Moogie.
Was that what do you call it? That orange truck that you have back there? Was that called Project Binky?
No. But it was on RC Crawler, and then at the time I think it was Crawl Canada before Scale Builders Guild.
Oh.
We're worldwide now.
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige.
Put white
Worldwide.
out on the feet.
Investors? Possibly you.
Possibly you. Day 9 of quarantine. Josh ran out of shirts.
That's a good one. That's a keeper. I like that one. That's priceless.
Wow, that's the winner so far.
Yeah, that's good. I like that
I
one.
came in late. Was I supposed to bring my Matchbox cars?
No, you're supposed to bring your $400 donations.
Oh my god.
I'm still like, I don't even know. I can't even fathom it.
Conrad is asking, what kind of 3D printer do you have? So Matt and I both have TiVo Tornadoes. And then I also have a TiVo Nearus, NE something, NEA or NEU, I can't remember how you spell it.
What's that one all about? Is it different?
It's a more budget version, but with some little upgrades. So I really like my TiVo Tornado is great for me. The glass bed is awesome, which this one doesn't have, which I want to put on there. But the TiVo has like this big control unit that sits next to it, and it's kind of a pain. Where this Nearus has everything like built in underneath, and then it's got a touchscreen display to control everything. So in this room, space is a premium for me. Like, this is not a big room. So I've got it on a rolling cart, and everything is contained on it. And then if I plan to do a video with it, I can actually like take and roll the cart like right next to me. So that's why I brought this one home. And it also has things like filament detection and stuff, which I do like. And it also has like some Wi-Fi capabilities, which I don't use at this point. But it's just little. The Ender 3Ds are basically Ender 3.
Ender 3
is another one that's very similar to the builds of these. They're all kind of knockoffs of the Prusa i3.
There's this the Creality as well.
Yeah, I think Creality is the Ender 3.
That's right.
And those are very similar. I really like my TiVos, both of them. I've been happy with them. I haven't had any issues with them, and they have been.
I had to replace the hot end on mine, but other than that thing's been pretty solid.
Yeah, my Tornado I just recently replaced the hot end and extruder on it because I finally wore through my extruder.
Wow.
But I'm not kidding. I used to print like 16 hours a day on that thing, 5 days a week.
Wow.
When I was doing, and maybe more than 16 hours, like that's being conservative because it almost felt like the thing was going like 24 hours a day. When I was making and selling these little GoPro vlogging setups, and I would just batch up that thing. And I would hit print as soon as I got there in the morning. I would take them off before I left and hit a batch before I left. And that thing would just print and print and print. And it would just go forever.
Yeah, it's a good printer. I'm pretty pleased. And it'll print anything. TPU, PETG, PLA, ABS. It's all good.
Yeah, I didn't have great luck with TPU on it, but I needed to do more. I think now with my new extruder, new hot end, I'm guessing it would do much better.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Are we done? We're close to done? I know.
That's, we should probably leave something for,
another time.
Conversations to happen.
I'm sure that some T-Shack73 just said, my kid is crying because Josh is wearing his play mat. That's pretty good too.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, final question from Ryan Davis, for me anyway. If you guys had to pick between each other's trucks, which one would you pick?
Any truck that each other of us owns.
Yeah. I'll let you.
That's a good thought. Can you give me a look over what's going on over there?
Yeah. What do you want to see? I want to see.
Okay.
So, there's all those ones. And then there's the steam truck is behind me.
There's the dog.
The dog is here. Yeah. Hi, dog. Hey, you want this Kyosho Nitro car? Look at that.
Right.
There's a bunch that isn't easy to get out. They're in different shelves and drawers and stuff.
I think that I was just trying to refresh my memory, but I think I would. So I have two that I would that one, which is like my runner-up choice, is kind of the jelly. Like,
the jelly
I like the jelly bean. I honestly do.
How could you not love this? Look at this thing.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad it's good. I know you love it.
But I think the one that I would actually have to choose would be the Logo Hawk.
Yes. All right. That's a good choice. I'll let you take that one. I mean, I won't let you take it, but it's a good choice. Just because it's a feat of engineering, if you will.
Yeah. And I mean, which is saying something coming from,
from me,
milk jug drinking, artist. Like,
all right, which piece of crap do I want from you? Hang on. I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah.
No, what would I don't know. What do I like that you have done?
Yeah.
I think that thing in front of you, once you get it done.
I do like this.
Yeah, that's a nice truck.
So many of my favorite trucks are things that are so outside of what you would, like my Carnivore UC Fab truck is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a cool truck.
It's not here right now, but it's also very performance aimed.
Yeah.
But it's made after a truck that I admired the performance of in the real world.
Maybe I would take
so much of the rest.
Your VS410 with the portal in the rear.
I do like that.
Yeah.
And driving that is a whole new experience.
Yeah, that thing's pretty cool.
Yes, that's.
All right, you got one more question on your end, and then we'll call it.
Let me find a good one,
right.
because I know I missed a bunch of questions.
Okay.
So we'll just.
Matt Romero said that we'll both, in the next live stream, we'll both be in tube tops and Crocs. I mean, if it gets $400, I'm not saying I'm not game.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a good question. It's not it's one that we've kind of seen a question, like many questions like this in the past, but always good for discussion. Dawson Bossy said, what do you guys think would be the next big thing in the RC crawling world? Might be kind of a broad topic, but it is, and that's the perfect reason for it.
Yes, that is pretty broad.
So next big thing, you have to actually feel it first.
Oh, great. The next big thing is it scale? Next big thing in scale tiny trucks?
I think so. I think we have to say that that's the area.
Okay. Well, I'll go out on. This is wacky. This is a wacky answer, but I'm going to say the next big thing is going to be actual hydraulics for steering. Yeah, I know that's pretty out there, but I'm trying to think of something that would be cool and super finicky that someone like me would get a lot of enjoyment out of. Oh, it's not working again. Oh,
yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Fiddle with it.
Springing an actual hydraulic leak on the trail. Mineral oil spray. Yes.
That's a pretty out there answer. And probably not something mainstream. So next big thing, I don't know, man. I kind of am at a loss. They've done so much, and so much has already been done, that it's going to take some pretty out of the box thinking to get people jazzed about it.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a tough question.
I think that the next big thing is always a hard thing to say, because if anybody knew what the next big thing was, they would do it, and
probably wouldn't talk about it on a live stream.
Yeah, be thousandaires just like Matt and I in this world. But for me, I think that it kind of goes along with some of the things that we're seeing, and that is that the actual fact that the designs that people are doing, they need to have, well, I guess this is kind of counterintuitive in some ways as well. The designs that get put into things need to have both the function and the actual scale representation taken into account, more so than they have in the past. Like the SCX3 has a scaled drivetrain in it now, that while it has a lot of features and function packed into it, it has that look that was still put in to make, and not just how everything goes together, but also the 3D printed, the motor cover that goes up front that looks like an LS engine, and enclosing everything in the sides with this new style of inner fender and shock tower. But then at the same time, they go and put portals on things that don't need,
right.
Like what's the redneck ninja, going around ninja and things that don't need ninja. That's
yeah.
I feel like that's what has happened with portals, but it's strictly because of consumer driven.
Yeah, it totally is. And we'll see it go away. I think that if, in the name of scale, in the name of accuracy, they'll go the way of all the other kind of trendy things.
I would say the same, but I don't know that I can. I don't know that I believe it.
Right. Well,
I think that the other thing is that our market, it moves fast, kind of like, trends come and go, but a trend could still be 5 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Like with something as major as that, like trying to convince people that, like, listen, you don't need portals on everything. Like you should care a little bit about the scale realism, but it's not just.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm with you, man.
So
on that note, I'm going to let you finish your pizza.
This was good,
I think. And
it's cold, but still.
I'm sure it is. This has been fun. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks for all the amazing donations. I'm gonna get this money to the food bank, I think, because that's something that in the current climate has certainly slowed in terms of donations, so they could probably use everything they can get. So that's where my money's going.
Yes.
But thanks everybody for watching. Josh, I'll see you again soon. I'll talk to you even sooner.
Yes, I'm sure. So, as always, I appreciate all you guys watching as well. I'll probably do something on Sunday.
Probably.
So if you guys are going to be bored for the rest of the weekend. But, what?
I didn't say anything. No, it's fine.
I thought you were just trying, I'm trying to get the last word in.
No, you're going to have the last word. It's all yours.
No. Yeah, you're supposed to have the quirky first words, and I'll get the last word.
Yeah, no cold opening again. I'll have to.
It's so hard to tell me that.
I should just do a video of cold openings. The video never actually starts.
That intro, just one. All right.
Consider that considered.
You guys all watch.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again on the next one. Good night.
See you guys.